Last time we looked at defensive role combinations and now we will move to the attacking ones. But to do so comprehensively, we will split the pitch by right and left side. The two sides go hand in hand in the tactical formation, otherwise your tactic would look a bit weird. So let's start with the 4 at the back formation and work our way to a 3 and 5 at the back one. 4 at the back is used in most formations in modern football. And let's look at the 4-3-3 formation first. With the 4-3-3, you have one center midfielder, one winger and one striker that can play on the right side. Of course, the striker plays centrally. If the defensive midfielder is a supporting role, then you can afford to choose a more aggressive role for this player. For example, center midfielder, mezzala, advanced playmaker or roaming playmaker. The roles are the ones dictating the player's position on the pitch, while the duties instruct the player how to perform the role. Depending on your tactical approach, any of these roles may be on support or attacking. The center midfielder role has also a dedicated defend duty, but there's no need for it if the defensive midfielder covers the lower third of the pitch. You could also use a more static role like the deep line playmaker, which should be coupled with a more roaming role like these ones. The box-to-box midfielder role focuses on defend as well and arrives late in the opposition's box when attacking, and the carrilero can be used to defend horizontally. This player will drift wide at times, making sure he covers the central and the wide areas. This role might work well with an inverted wingback on support or attack. The inverted wingback would push up the field in possession, while the carrilero would march his side of the pitch and guard against counterattacks. Moving to the winger roles, here you can be more creative. A traditional winger can be used to stretch the pitch in possession and make room for a central midfielder, a roaming playmaker and a box-to-box midfielder to come into, while the inverted winger acts like a traditional winger but cuts inside when the opportunity arises. The inside forward can be used as a wide striker, cutting inside at the earliest opportunity, and coupled with an attack duty, he would be as aggressive as possible in creating and scoring chances. In this case, the trequartista and the roundator are the most interesting roles. The trequartista is that player that will always look for space to attack and will not defend at all, being a creative and a dangerous player hard to be contained. While the roundator is exactly what the word means, space interpreter or space investigator. He is the player having the most freedom in your tactic, looking for space and attacking it at the earliest opportunity. The advanced playmaker is expected to do exactly what his counterpart does in the midfield, while the wide target forward acts like a target forward but in the wide areas. Imagine Peter Crouch as a winger. In front, most roles attack the goal and look to score more often than not. Besides the deep lying forward, the complete forward and the false 9. These players also come deep to get the ball, creating gaps for their teammates to go into. For this reason, in a 4-3-3 formation, I would go with this setup. The mezzala will either go straight up or drift wide, depending on the game moment. The inside forward will aim to cut inside as early as possible, especially with an attack duty. And the false 9, the deep lying forward or the complete forward will look to come deep, dragging one center back onto them, making space for the inside forward to attack into. I would also couple this with a wingback on support who would look to come up in the rhythm of the build-up, looking for crossing opportunities. In a 4 midfielders formation, the right side could look like one of these options. The wide midfielder role is not a technically gifted winger, but more of a hard-working one, looking to widen the pitch and bring his teammates into play. Coupled like this, the mezzala could drift wide while the striker will attack the goal. Any of the striker roles attack the goal eventually, especially with an attack duty assigned. The defensive winger generally looks to win the ball high up the pitch, then either play in one of his teammates or go to the byline and cross the ball. This role could be coupled with the box-to-box midfielder or any of these two roles, and an advanced, pressing forward or a poacher. These roles are more aggressive and will look to find space to attack if the defensive midfielder would go up to the byline and cross the ball. In a 4-2-3-1 formation, this would be the most balanced approach. The winger helps stretching the pitch, while the shadow striker looks to go beyond the striker and attack the goal. For this reason, you need one of these 3 roles to bring him into play. The trequartista does exactly the same thing as on the wing, while the enganche is the static role, being the creator of the team, looking to bring his teammates into play with smart passes. The attacking midfielder is a more aggressive type of midfielder, playing in the final third, looking to fashion chances for himself or for his teammates. In a 3 at the back formation, the most important decision you should make, I think, is if you want to play through the middle or on the wings. And depending on this decision, you can choose the roles, and the strikers will be assigned these attacking roles. In a 5 at the back formation, what we have talked about just now applies. You should just consider how you want to play and how you would set up the defense. As mentioned, the midfield creates the chances for your team, and such, you should be as creative as possible when setting up these roles.